You look so wonderful in your dress. I love your hair like that. The way it falls on the side of your neck, down your shoulders and back. Surrounded by all of these lights and people who talk too much. You got one, knows anything but I. Should this be the last thing I see? I want you to know it's enough for me. 'Cause all that you are is all that I'll ever need. So in love, so in love, so in love, so in love. You look so beautiful in this light. You sail away over me. The way it brings out the blue in your eyes is the Tenerife Sea. And all of the voices surrounding us here, they just fade out when you take a breath. Just say the word and now we'll disappear into the wilderness. Should this be the last thing I see? I want you to know it's enough for me. So what you are is all that I'll ever need. So in love, so in love, so in love, so in love.
Today we are gathered as witnesses to a holy union. On behalf of the Heinerman family and the Brouillette family, we thank you so much for being part of this incredibly special day, the wedding ceremony of Jenna and Brant. What God is about to seal today, may no man separate. Who gives this bride away?
Let's pray. Father, we thank you for this beautiful evening, beautiful weather, beautiful scene, wonderful family and friends that can join with us. And we thank you for Jenna and for Brant.
Through the promises that they're
Of you. We thank you for being here tonight. We thank you also for the love that Jenna and Brant have for each other, and how it's a reminder of your love for us, and a reminder of other loves that we've had. We just pray that you will bless this marriage and give them the strength to keep the commitments and promises that they're making this evening. Now we thank you for who you are and all you do for us, and pray that you'll help us to be more like you each day. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. You may be seated. I dare any of you out here today to watch your child cry and not get emotional. Holy smokes. And to see your potential in a matter of minutes, daughter-in-law walk down the aisle. You two made it. We're here. We made it. Finally, we made it. What a beautiful day for a wedding. Last night at our rehearsal, the sun was so intense I couldn't even read notes. I was worried. Hallelujah for clouds. This is absolutely breathtaking out here. I want you two to take a moment and look over your shoulder. Look at your family and friends that came over. Look at everybody that's here to support you. I'm not sure if either one of you have had a chance to exhale, but you, more than anyone I know, deserves a huge exhale. You've had a busy month, haven't you? I was thinking about some of the things that you've been up to over the last 4 or 5 weeks. Can I list them out? Check this out. You wrapped up a tennis career. You graduated with your bachelor's degree. You graduated with your master's degree. You passed your board of cert for athletic training. You helped organize and host the Dogwood Festival in Siloam Springs, Arkansas, that sees, 50,000 people come through. You packed and drove a U-Haul from Arkansas to Goshen. You packed and moved out of your college house. You both moved into your new home here in Goshen. You both looked for and successfully found jobs in your chosen field. That is not a small task. You celebrated Mother's Day. You celebrated Jenna's birthday. In the coming years, and now an anniversary, you're going to have a busy May, my friend. Very, very busy May. And I forgot to mention maybe the biggest event of them all. This. Jenna, you put all the details together. You put so much work into this. What a busy, busy month for the two of you. But well worth it, I'm sure, as you stand here. You're here now. And all of us get an opportunity to celebrate both of you. Thank you for having us. Your story is unique. Brant and Jenna, you've been friends since first grade. I don't know if everybody here knows that. I remember Jenna coming over to our house when we lived in Kansas. She would eat popsicles with Brant, and they'd play on the trampoline. And Brant would often say, hey, can I go over to Jenna's house? I want to hang out in the tree house and ride bikes through Hillsboro. And what about swim team? Swim team was awesome. All of the snacks underneath pop-up tents, and you two huddled up, sharing your cheese, whatever you ate, your apple slices, and then you'd go out and you'd cheer for one another in your individual races. How about the igloo? Snow cones and laughter at the igloo, one of the hot spots in Hillsboro. From the very beginning, first grade, we knew, the Heinermans knew, you guys were just best friends. That makes your story unique. I asked the two of them if there was a particular Bible verse that has shaped their story. And without hesitation, they both said Matthew 28, verse 20. It's known as the Great Commission. It's a passage when Jesus' time on earth, remaining disciples, and he said to them this, teach these new disciples to obey all the commands I've given to you. And be sure of this, I am with you always, even to the end of the age. Jesus told his closest people, even though you won't physically see me, I'm with you in spirit. I'll guide you. I'll encourage you. I'm in your corner. And I trust you. I trust you to change the world. This idea of being with someone, even when you're not physically present, is something you've both embodied for the past 10 years, and officially as a couple over the last 5 years. And those 5 years were long distance, weren't they? Outside of 2022, the summer of, when you spent some time together in Arkansas, I kind of went through the calendar and tried to do some quick calculations, and if I'm way off, let me know. But I estimate that you have spent in 4 years outside of that summer about 3 weeks out of the year together, physically together. Now, for those of you here today, if you're in a relationship, could you imagine dating somebody for 5 years and seeing one another as infrequently as these two? How in the world could a relationship like that hold up? Right before we moved back to Indiana, we threw a going away birthday party for Brant. He wanted to say one final hurrah to all his friends at the local bowling alley. Of course, Jenna was on the invite list. Her mom, her mom brought her, and then we sat down and exchanged some presents. And Brant got this present from Jenna. It was a rock. And on it, it said, "Remember, I am with you always." The Bible verse that we just shared. According to Tamara, Jenna was heartbroken to lose her best friend. Her mom said this, "If it's meant to be, you'll see him again." Guess what? It was meant to be. It was most certainly meant to be. In no time at all, Tamara, Jerry, Jenna, her brother Jonathan, paid a visit to us here in Indiana. I remember we had dune buggy races, didn't we? On this property and down these trails and over to the new home of Jenna and Brant. And they laughed. It was Bryce and Jonathan, big brothers against Brant and Jenna. And to hear the screams and the yells, we had a great time together. It wasn't long after that, I think there was a trip to the Indianapolis Zoo. These two were just friends, but they wanted to be together, and it was important to them. Fast forward to Brant's senior year. He's a senior in high school, and it's Sunday afternoon, and Brant asked if we could talk. Now, most fathers would say, absolutely. When your teenager wants to talk to you, you're like, yeah, let's do it. It was Sunday, NFL season, and football was on. And I said, "Sure, Brant, what's up?" And he said, "Dad, can you turn the TV off?" Now, that was sacrilegious in our house almost. But I turned it off, and I said, "Absolutely. What's up?" And I'll never forget, he said this, "Hey, do you remember how I said I don't want to date anybody in high school? I'm going to wait till college." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I think I'd like to date somebody with your blessing." I said, "Okay, who's that?" "Jenna." I said, Jenna Heinerman from Hillsboro, Kansas?" He's like, yeah. We were just talking about how we're not going to date anybody and talking about the qualities we're looking for in a boyfriend or girlfriend, and realized that's who each of us are. That's what we want for one another. And I got to admit, deep down, I was like, man, you're going off to college in a few months and you want to start a long distance relationship. But on the surface, I was pleased. Jenna was a sweet girl, I remembered. And a great family. I thought, let's give it a shot. Why not? Absolutely. And I got to be honest, I didn't know that it would last. But Jerry and Tamara and Mandy, they thought otherwise. They knew something special was happening. Jenna, when I asked Mandy what the best quality Brant will bring to this marriage, here's what she said. She said that Brant knows what he wants. He's committed. Brant, when I asked the same question to Tamara and Jerry, what's the best quality that Jenna is going to bring to this relationship? They said she's committed, decisive, and loyal as well. You guys have proved that over 10 years, your loyalty and your commitment to one another. It's admirable. Jerry also mentioned this, that the independence you've both experienced and the confidence you have in who you are individually is key to your relationship. I agree. After being a couple for nearly a year in high school, it would have been really easy for you guys to pick colleges together. But you didn't. You chose what was right for you, Brant, in athletic training. You chose what was right for you with the truckload of scholarships that you earned and received. And you said, if this is going to work, we're going to be our own person. And you were. You pursued your own passions. You developed your own friends, some of whom are standing with you today. And you became your own person. And yet, unabashedly, you share every ounce of yourself with one another. Your full and complete self with one another. From FaceTime movie nights and dinners together, separated by a mere 13 hours, to falling asleep over late night marathon phone calls, to celebrating accomplishments together and sharing heartaches with one another. Physical distance is the only thing that ever separated you two. And I might contend that it's the very thing that brought you closer than ever for the first 5 years. It was the fertilizer to your friendship. It forced you to have deep conversations, to listen intently, to care for and pray with, to empathize and feel one another's pain and celebrate each other's joy. I'm sure it wasn't easy, but God used the distance to create dark, rich, fertilized relational soil. Your relationship is divinely advanced and mature because of the distance that you've experienced. Now, this is the part of the wedding message where I issue a charge to honor God in your marriage, to be diligent in your communication skill with one another, to be kind-hearted and loving. Typically, I'll reference 1 Corinthians 13, speak about love being patient and kind, gentle and full of self-control, filled with hope, faith, and love. But today, the charge I want to issue to the two of you is this: keep doing you. Your relationship has been built on all of these attributes already. Your love for one another, and you love one another, you hope together, up close and from a distance. You've chosen to listen well and empathize deeply with one another. Your parents have recognized that you both bring loyalty and healthy independence to this relationship. Brant, this rock that you've kept for 10 years no longer has writing on it. There's a little white speck right there in the middle. The words have been rubbed off after hours and hours of you holding it, moving it to your pockets and nightstand and bed when you fell asleep talking to Jenna and in your cup holder. And it's okay that it's been removed. You know why? You don't need this reminder anymore. Jenna will physically be with you from now and forever. No more long distance goodbyes for you two.
Bless.
Brant, the Heinermans welcome you to their family. And Jenna, welcome to ours. Your extended families are so excited for the two of you. Holidays, vacations, phone calls, our time together will never be, because we share incredibly much. You'll have to split your time in Indiana, Oklahoma, Kansas, now New York, and wherever life may take you. Your extended family is important. However, the most important family, the one that you will honor first and foremost, is the one that you'll create together. Choose your family first And I ask that you create it on the sustaining, foundational rock of Jesus Christ. Just like Jesus said to his disciples, and just like the rock reminder you gave Brant, remember, we collectively will be with you always, cheering you on, praying for and with you, hoping for the best, and watching your story continue to unfold. Now go start your married life, and may no distance ever separate the two of you again. Remember always that all of us gathered here today love you both tremendously, and it's a sliver of the unending love that Christ has for the two of you. Can I pray for you? Father God, we thank you for the example that you've set in Scripture of what it looks like to love and to be loyal and to be committed, what it looks like to follow and to serve. We thank you for the words of Jesus, remember, I will be with you always, that were etched on a rock that kept these two together. And we know they're together, and those words are because of your Holy Spirit working in and around and through Brant and Jenna. And so, God, I just ask that that Spirit is alive and permeates their new home. I ask that the decisions that are to be made are done so with reverence towards you. I ask that the love that is shared there is deep and unabiding. It's sacrificial. And Father, I ask that they race to the altar of sacrifice for one another. Father, thank you so much for building their friendship first. Father, thank you so much for the uniqueness of their story, for the innocence of childhood friendship and deeper friendship, and now the deepest of friendship as husband and wife. We love you, God, and boy, do we love Brant and Jenna. And it's in your precious Son's name, and all God's people said, amen. Brant and Jenna chose to write their vows, and at this time, they would like to share them with one another. Brant, would you like to go first, or would you like Jenna to?
Jenna, I can't thank God enough for putting you into my life. Through every twist and turn we've experienced in our lives, we've gone through it together. You have always been and always will be my very best friend. I love you more than I can put into words, and I vow to always love you unconditionally. I vow to protect you and support you with all of my strength. I promise to always be there for you and to be the absolute best husband that I can possibly.
Mine might be a little longer. I think you'll both be surprised by how similar they are to both of what you just said. Hi. Almost 11 years ago, we were riding in a dune buggy in your backyard that you had just moved into when you told me you wanted your first kiss to be with the girl you marry. Well, here you are. 1,645 days ago, I was sitting in my kitchen as you told me that you loved me for the first time. Since that day, we've spent at least 1,500 of those days separated by a distance of several hundred miles. We've been through a lot in these 4.5 years, everything from going to different colleges to a global pandemic. I'm sorry, I had to mention it in there. I know everybody's tired of COVID. You've been through every victory and failure, through every moment of pride and insecurity with me. We've both grown so much as we've become the people that we were made to be and keep becoming them. There's a song that says, quote, "I've been 4 different people since the first time we met." And later reads, "You've held every version of me. You could change in one way or another. You could wake up and say you hate summer, You could pick out a different favorite color, and I'm still gonna love you. So, yet the odds have really always been against us. I have never once questioned that you were made for me, and I was made for you. I have truly found the one whom my soul loves. The song's final verse reads, "As we start to grow up and get older, I hope that we always grow closer. I'll keep putting in time so that I know you, and I'm still gonna love you." Brant, you have an unwavering, steadfast love that has never made our circumstances feel like they could weigh down the affection that we have for one another. I've thought a lot about what I would say to you, what I could promise you as I become your wife. And the truth is, I promise you everything. But we'd be here for quite a while if I did that. So I just picked a few big ones. On this day, I vow to be your wife and your very best friend. To love you fiercely and learn every new version of you as we grow together. I'm always going to be here to ask about your day, and I'm always going to be here to pop a little joke to make you laugh. Or a lot of little jokes to make you laugh. I also want to take this moment to vow forever to be a Jags fan with you.
That's love. That is love.
No matter the season, because I know how much they mean to you. Your passions are important, and I will always value them with you. And come on, it was always the Jags. I promise to walk with you in every moment, especially the hard ones. To be quick to acknowledge my mistakes and reconcile with you. To be slow to anger and quick in gratitude. Got a lot to be thankful for. And to be patient when we aren't on the same page. Promise to be a safe place. You bring me peace, and you are my home, my safe place to land. You know me like no other, and you love me like no other. Brant, when I look at you today, I feel extreme gratitude for the best friend that you have been and the husband that you will be. It's a privilege to love you.
Brant, upon hearing Jenna's vows to you, will you take her to be your lawfully wedded wife? Will she be yours in times of plenty and in times of want, in times of health and in times of sickness, in times of joy and in times of sorrow, in times of triumph and in times of failure? Will you promise to cherish, protect, comfort, encourage, and pull out the very best in her for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
And Jenna, upon hearing Brant's vows to you, will you take him to be your lawfully wedded husband? Will he be yours in times of plenty and in times of want, in times of health and in times of sickness, in times of joy and in times of sorrow, in times of triumph and in times of failure? Will you promise to cherish, protect, comfort, encourage, and pull out the very best in him for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Did you bring symbols of these vows with you today? The tradition of the wedding ring, believe it or not, was established about 3,000 years ago. Ancient Egyptians, they believed that the vein of love, or the vena amoris, extended from the fourth finger on the left hand straight to the heart. And so Egyptians would tie braid and hemp together. They'd give it to their bride. Hundreds of years later, men began to make these rings out of gold as a way to say, the way in which I will protect your daughter, my bride, the way in which I will honor and serve her is as good as gold. And then World War II, men began wearing wedding bands as well to remember the families that they left behind. And today we carry that tradition on. The unending circle represents your unending love. So if you can place that on Jenna's trembling hand. And repeat after me. With this ring, I make you my wife. And Jenna, if you can do the same with Brant. And repeat after me. With this ring, I make you my husband. Brant and Jenna have chosen to sign their marriage license out here in a unique way. Grandpa Ron on Jenna's side has built this beautiful heart-shaped table and crafted a pen, and they're going to sign their marriage license at this time. Brant and Jenna, for as much as you've consented in holy wedlock through the pledging of your vows, exchanging of the rings, and the signing of your marriage license, and done so in front of all of us by the power granted to me from the state of Indiana, I now pronounce you husband and wife. And after last night's rehearsal, I'm going to call an audible. Jenna, you may now kiss your groom. Family and friends, it's my distinct honor to introduce for the very first time Mr. and Mrs. Brant and Jenna Brouillette.
Crazy, I'm crazy for you. Nothing in this world that I wouldn't do. Thoughts get so lazy, my mind gets so hazy. I'm crazy, so crazy for you. I'm changing for you. Nothing in this world that I wouldn't do.
Did you go?
Now I'm gonna sing it to you. Daisy do. I wanna do just what them old songs do. So take
Oh, we're I was in the kiss thing. Well, one more time. Everyone's
Hi, friends!
I'm just so happy for you guys. Like, I know the other groomsmen were as well, but I was so emotional staying up there with you guys. The fact that I could see Jenna's face the entire time did not help. I know Bray and I have been through a lot. We've known each other for probably a little over 10 years now. Neighbors, best friends, teammates, everything. Jenna, I'm so happy that I met you 4 years ago, probably, around that. I know that at first I was very scared of you, to be honest. And then a couple of years ago, I was very honored when you told me that if I was going to be Brant's best friend, I had to be your best friend as well. So that meant a lot to me. Brant, one of my favorite stories about us is 2015. We took a trip to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. You know, there's a bunch of family members there. You know, being the two real men on the trip, we had to be the ones to take the trash out at night. So Brant and I have the bag in my hand. Brant was in charge of the lock. So we were up in a cabin, bears all around. And, you know, we get down there, we're all good. We head back up that night. We go out the next day, we do all of our stuff. We come back probably around 9, 10 o'clock at night the next night. And what do we see as we pull into the driveway? There's a nice big black bear just standing there. And we look to the side. There's trash littered everywhere. The first thing everybody does, including Brant, is, Taylor, what did you do? My response immediately was, I was just in charge of taking it. He was in charge of the lock. Now, and without fail, every time, especially Mike, every time I see him, it's my fault, no matter what. It's been 8 years. But, yeah, I know, Brand, we spent some time a month ago for my wedding, but he said this, I'll say the exact same thing about you. We get along much better than almost anybody I've ever met. And I'm so happy for you. I told you as we ended the ceremony, I'll tell you again. I love you so much. You are my brother. You will be till the day I die. And Jenna, I'm so happy that I can call you a sister.
My name is Ashley Nickel, and I have the pleasure of being Jenna's maid of honor. And I love that title because it really truly is an honor to stand up here and get to brag about her. I have known Jenna and loved her deeply for the last 6 years in a lot of different contexts. And so I've learned a lot about her and watched her grow, develop, and change, and it is so fun to get to talk about what I love about her tonight. So I'm not very good at the funny speech thing, and I have nothing to offer when it comes to marriage advice. And so I really just want to speak some truth over you guys and affirm the things that we all know to be true about you, and the reasons that I believe that your marriage is going to be successful, and the reason that I'm for you and behind you in this decision that you've made. A lot of this we already heard from Mike tonight, which is even better. So Jenna, what is true about you is you are kind, and you are gentle, and you are selfless, and you are ambitious, and talented, and dedicated, and hardworking, and all things good, and beautiful, and true. And Brant, while I don't know you nearly as well, what is true about you is that you are loyal, and you are a protector, and a good friend, and a good listener, and that is deeply true about you. And what I love about you guys is this was true of you before you knew each other, and this is true as you've grown up together. You're not two halves coming together to finally make one whole being, but you are two whole, complete individuals together, coming together to make something new and beautiful. And it is so fun and a real honor and joy to get to walk with you in this. One of the things that struck me most in your vows is your commitment to bringing out the best in each other, and you already do this. This isn't a new charge. This is something that as we have come alongside you, we've seen to be true, and you guys know to be true about each other. It makes us really, really right and a good choice, and we are for you. So the last truth about all of us sitting here is that we are behind you, and we are for you, and we love you, and we support you, and we're so excited for this new season of marriage for you guys. We love you.
For those who don't know me, my name is Peter. And I've actually been friends with Brant since technically senior year of high school. We actually met at freshman orientation, and I remember my mom telling me, "Oh, look, there's a guy with a tennis shirt, go talk to him." And so I did, and by the end of that day, we decided to be roommates, and we never really looked back. One of the first things I noticed about Brant was his character. And to some people it may be a lot, and to new people it also may be a lot, but to me, the number one thing I noticed was that he was himself all the time and never apologized for it, never thought twice about it, and I love that about you. We spent a lot of time together. We actually were in the same major, so we had almost every class together. This guy's pretty much the reason that I graduated. And more importantly, we played an unhealthy amount of disc golf while we were in college. One of my favorite memories with you was we would text all the time before freshman year and just talk about everything we were going to do on campus and everything that we were going to do together. And the number one thing we talked about was working out together and getting quote unquote jacked. Which, by looking at both of us, clearly we did not get along. But I do remember Brant telling me about his amazing girlfriend Jenna. And when she came to visit campus, I knew immediately that you two were perfect for each other. The way you guys interacted and talked just between each other, and just the bond that you guys shared was truly something special. And I remember Brant telling me when she left that he was going to marry her after college, and here we are today. So I love seeing what God has done for you guys so far in your life, and I can't wait to see what's in store for you guys next. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Hallie. Most of you probably don't know me because I came all the way from Oklahoma to be here. Jenna has been one of my most special friends since we were in high school. I thought I would kind of share a little bit about how we became friends because it is probably one of the most beautiful friendships that I have. So we were thrown into a hotel room together in Kansas City, and we had never spoken a word to each other. And I was kind of quietly unpacking my things in this hotel room, and Jenna comes over to me and taps me on the shoulder with her phone in her hand, and she said, "Do you want to watch the movie Hoodwinked with me?" And so I kind of looked at her, I was like, yeah, why not? We don't have anything else to do. So we laid on this hotel room bed on her phone watching this movie, and by the end of that movie, we were already best friends, and we spent the rest of the night just spilling our guts to each other because we both just really, really needed a friend at that point in our life.
Bluetooth disconnected.
We had both had a really rough year, and that friendship came at the best moment. And it was so good that whenever my time in Kansas was done that summer, my mom came to get me, and she bypassed me, actually moved me out of the way, and went and gave Jenna a hug. And that's not really that big a deal, except my mom doesn't give hugs, so her kind of pushing me out of the way and going and giving Jenna a hug just kind of speaks to how beautiful the friendship is, because even my mom, from however many hours away that was, knew that that friendship was completely necessary. And Jenna, I love you so much. Brant, I need to say something to you really quick. To you. I know you love Jenna so well because I have been with her throughout this whole relationship of yours. I remember her telling me about you and all of it. And she never had a bad thing to say about you. And you are so lucky because I'm sure you know her loyalty and you love her more than I do. So take care of her.
I will.
And you are so lucky. Jenna, I love you so much. And we've been long distance our whole friendship, and now it's just a little bit longer. But you're really good at long distance relationships. So, it's gonna be okay, and I love you so much.
I have known Brant for the last 4 years of my life, and also I'm from Texas, so coming up to Indiana was a change for me. So being up here for the last 4 years with him has made this 10 times easier for me. So I want to say thank you for that first. It means a lot. So we came up to college to play tennis, but I think I can speak for both of us saying that tennis was not our favorite sport. We enjoy disc golf a lot more. And we have spent well over $1,000 on discs and driven for probably hundreds of hours at this point, just driving around Indiana and having fun and slipping down hills because we like to play in the snow for some reason. But I've had a blast all 4 years, and leaving is a lot harder for me to do now that I know you. So thank you for that, but also, come on, makes it harder. But I know that both myself, Peter, the rest of the guys and girls on the team, we're leaving you in good hands with Jenna. And you're going to need good hands, Jenna. He's sensitive. I love you both, and I'm really excited to see what you guys got going.
Okay, let's go, come on. And then.
This has been so much fun getting to get together and celebrate you guys. We've had such a great time getting together every evening as families and just getting to know each other and getting to see your family and you guys getting to meet our family. It's been so special, and I'm just so thankful that we get to celebrate that with you guys and just get together and really recognize the miracle and the awesome thing that God is doing through your relationship. I'm so excited to see the adventures you guys have to go on. Jenna, one of my favorite memories with you is sharing music, from a little bit of rap to definitely some Ed Sheeran. Questionable or not, it is all a good time. And I always love spending time on the phone with you, especially if it starts with, what's kicking, what's some chicken? Brant, welcome to the family. Welcome to the Heinerman clan.
Yeah.
We are going to have to work on the NFL team. I can't. We need some red and gold.
Nope.
We are excited to have you, and we are so thankful for the way that you love and support Jenna. There is no questioning the connection you guys have, and we are so excited to see where this adventure leads you guys. Congratulations.
All right. Hi everyone, my name is Corey. I went to college with Brant at Anderson. For the last 4 years, we've been friends, teammates, roommates, and when you've been around someone for as much as I've been around Brant, you really start to notice all of the little things that tend to make that person light up with happiness. For example, he loves watching one of his players on his fantasy football team score a touchdown. He loves watching anybody on the Jaguars score a touchdown. He really loves watching the Jaguars come back from 27-0 in the playoffs this year. That day in particular was one of the happiest I've ever seen Brant. Probably because it's the only time in his life the Jaguars will win a playoff game.
Yeah!
But Brant does love many things besides the Jaguars. His excitement is contagious anytime we all get together to play a round of Mario Kart. Which, by the way, Jenna has started to join us in our online Mario Kart sessions. She still has some improvements to make in her driving game, but she hasn't put in the literal hundreds of hours that me and Brant and Sam and Peter have all put into Mario Kart. And I do mean literally, because as of this morning, we have a combined 510 hours of Mario Kart between us. And that's not even counting the time spent on the Wii, but it's best if we don't go there. Of course, Brant loves tennis. I'm sure one of his favorite memories is his undefeated junior season. Very impressive. It was awesome watching you smile and be happy after each of those wins. And the van rides. The van rides make Brant extremely happy, especially reading stuff from Peter's quote book. Yeah. If you're wondering what that is, it's best that you don't know. Another one of Brant's passions is, of course, disc golf. He loves it to the point that he would get a group of us on the team heading out in below freezing temperatures after midnight, the night before matches. I rarely attended these outings because I don't love disc golf like he does. But the times I did go, I could tell that Brant was truly in his element. He loves getting an ace, and whenever he does, he makes sure we know how impressive that ace is. But the point I'm trying to make is, I've seen Brant happy in a lot of ways, but none of those even come close to how happy he gets when Jenna called him every single night for the past 4 years. Jenna makes Brant happier than anything else in the world. You guys conquered the long distance, and now I'm excited to see you guys get to spend all those happy moments together for the rest of your life. So, I love you guys, and congratulations.
Everyone, thank you so much for coming. We had so many hands on deck helping prepare for weeks for this. I just want to thank everybody that was involved so much because we truly could not have done it without you guys. We couldn't be happier with the way tonight went. Everything was perfect, and we're going to remember this night for the rest of our lives, and it's all thanks to you guys. So thank you so much.
We would like to extend a very, very special thank you to Deb and Terry Bobo. Well, they're Deb and Terry Smith, but they're affectionately known as Grandma and Grandpa Bobo because of their golden retriever. But this is their backyard, and not only have they provided this space for us tonight to get married, for the last several years, they've been curating a space for the Brouillette family to meet every Thursday, or for holidays, or for all sorts of meals, and really going above and beyond. In just such a beautiful way in curating this space of hospitality, to where even we could feel welcome to ask them to use their space. And I just want to send a very special thank you to Terry and Deb for
One and done.
I also want to extend a very special thank you to our wedding party. Those who have traveled near and far. I think someone almost as 17 hours, I think, is a drive. And so many more at 12 and 13, and many long days on the road. And we are so grateful to have you guys to stand up next to us as we declare our love for one another and to be together today. We want to say thank you so much to our guests. It means so much for you guys to come out and to be with us and to celebrate with us and enjoy some snacks. And just get to say hi to each of you in a very special way. And then we also want to say thank you to our parents, Mike and Mandy, and then Tamara and Jerry, who have both put in so many hours into helping us plan this and execute it and have such a great night tonight. So if everybody wants to give everybody a round of applause, that would be super awesome.